Welcome to lecture 31 on dictionaries in Python, the second part where we'll discuss few of the popularly available functions, built-in functions that we can apply on dictionaries. But before we look at the individual functions, the first thing that we'll do is we'll create a dictionary, and this is the dictionary that we will be concerning ourselves with. So if you have a look, there are four keys. The first key is name, which contains a list of values. Excuse me. It contains a list of values, names of various footballers who have represented Manchester United over the course of many years. Then you have another key, which is the nationality. Again, this represents a list of values representing the countries for which these players have played football matches. After that, the third key is position, which position on the field they have mainly been playing in throughout their career. And lastly, there is the key which is called goals. And against goals, also, we have a list of values, each value representing the number of goals scored by each player that we have defined earlier. So, this is the dictionary. Let's go ahead and create this. Now, we would want to display the dictionary. So, if we execute the print statement, there we have it. The dictionary shows up as we can see. Next, what we can do is, in fact, what I'll do is I'll restart and clear output. That way, you'll be able to see the outputs immediately. So here I'll once again create my dictionary, print it. There you have it. This is the dictionary given by the key value pairs. The first function that we'll look at is the keys function. As the name suggests, this function will return the keys which are present in a particular dictionary on which the function is invoked. This function, the keys function, will simply return the number of keys that are present in a dictionary on which this function is invoked. So the keys function is invoked on my underscore d, the dictionary my underscore d. If we print it, there you have it. We get back a dict keys, a dictionary keys object which represents a list of all the keys which are present in my underscore d. We could print the type. The type, like I said, is of dict keys. So my underscore d dot keys returns a list of the keys present in my dictionary. In this case, the dictionary is my underscore d, the various attributes about the football players, and we get back the keys in the form of an object which goes by the name dict keys. Next, what we can do is we can take this dict keys object and we can convert it into a list. And if I print it out, there you have it. Now we get back a list of the keys. So this is one of the advantages of the keys function, that the output, although the output is in the form of dict underscore keys, if we want to, we can easily convert it into a list. That takes care of the keys function. Next, we'll look at the values function. Again, this function, as the name suggests, returns the values present against every key of the dictionary on which the function is invoked. In this case, in the particular cell that I've just now highlighted, we are invoking the values function on the dictionary my underscore d. And if we execute this, you find that a list, or not exactly a list, you get back dict values. So previously you had dict underscore keys. If you remember, if I could just scroll up, we got back an object of type dict underscore keys. Here we are getting back an object of type dict underscore values. And what exactly is this? This is a list of lists. Actually, this is a list of values. If you see here, I have the first values, the first set of values against the first key. This is my second set of values for the second key, which was nationality. Third list of values which was my position, which was for the position key, and the fourth list of values, which was for the goals key. So we have all these lists, and they are again wrapped inside an outer list. Can you see? So this is the beginning of the outer list, and this is the ending of the outer list. And this outer list is enclosing the list of values that we have for every key in our dictionary, my underscore d. Again, we can look at the type. The type is dict values, and we could easily convert this into a list. So when we convert this into a list, we get the list of values. Here, every value is in the form of a list, so we get a nested list. I repeat this part again. When we are converting the output returned by the values function into a list, we are actually getting back a list of lists. If you see, there are two opening square brackets here, and accordingly there are two closing square brackets. So we are getting back a list of lists. Now when you get back a list of lists, don't get confused. Here we are getting back a list of lists because every key is mapped to a list of values. Again, if you go back to the original dictionary, have a look. The name key is mapped to a list of names. The nationality key is mapped, the nationality key, this particular key nationality, it is mapped to a list of country names. Then the position key is mapped to a list of positions on the football field. And the goals key is mapped to a list of goals scored by the individual players. Now, if we go down and look at the output, so what we get back here is a list of values, and the value against every key is a list. That is why we get back a list of lists. The next function that we are interested in is the items function. And the items function, what it will do is it will return the key value pairs present in our dictionary. And every key value pair that we get back from this items function will be in the form of a tuple. So if we invoke the items function, there you have it. You find that we get back a list of key value pairs. Can you see? So this is a tuple, right? So if I could just highlight it properly. So this is a list. So if you have a look, this particular, actually I should highlight it from this point. Yeah, now it will make sense. Yeah, so what we get back is a tuple. In the tuple, the first value of the tuple is the key. The next value of the tuple is the values against the key. Again, here for the key we have a list of values. So the second item of the tuple is a list of values. Then again we have the key as nationality, and we have a list of values against that key. Then we have position, which is a key, and against this key we have values. Values are given by a list once again. Lastly, we have goals, which is our fourth key, and the values against goals are given by a list, which is the second item of the tuple. So we get back the key value pairs present in the dictionary in the form of a tuple. Every key value pair is in the form of a tuple. And if we now convert this to a list by passing the items called to the list function, we get back this. So we get back a tuple here. Can you see? This is a tuple which contains, like I said, contains two sets of values. The first is the key, which is name, and against the name, the values. And here the values happen to be a list. And the same thing is repeated for all the key value pairs, nationality, position, and goals. What we can do is we can convert this, the output returned by the items function, into a list. We are storing it in temp, and we can index this temp quite naturally because it is a list now. We have converted it into a list. So if we index the 0th element of the list, what we get back is the first tuple representing the first key value pair present in our dictionary. And if we look at the type is, as expected, a tuple. Now we look at the update function, the last function, in fact, the second last function for today. So the update function will manage to update the existing dictionary with new key value pairs. So it is more like the append function that we have seen in the case of lists. The update function will work only on dictionaries. The append function does not work on dictionaries, quite naturally. With append, you can append only one value at a time. Yes, that value may be a composite value or it may be a single literal. However, we cannot use the append function in case of dictionaries. For dictionaries, we have to use the update function. And in order to do that, what we do is we take our dictionary, which we want to update, which is my underscore d, and on it we invoke the update function. When we are invoking the update function, we pass it a new dictionary which contains another key value pair. So here we are passing age again in the form of a key value pair where age is my key and the age values are represented using a list. So if we execute this and then if we print our dictionary, we find that age has been added as a new key at the end of our dictionary. Of course, there's no guarantee that it will always be added at the end because dictionaries, mind you, do not preserve the natural ordering of the data items. So it may so happen that the order gets changed. That is beyond our control how the dictionary will show up. That is why we have to be flexible in this regard. The positions of the key value pairs may alter. Here, the age has been appended towards the end of the dictionary. Age is the key, and corresponding to this age, we have a list of values. So, once we are done with this, the update function, we look at the get function, by far the most important function, or by far the most unique function to a dictionary. The get function, what it does is it accepts a key of the dictionary and it returns the value corresponding to the key. Now, two scenarios may arise. It may so happen that the key is not present in the dictionary. If such is the case, it will return a default value which is provided as the second argument. It may so happen that the key is found in the dictionary. Then it will return the corresponding value against that key. It may also happen that the key is not present in the dictionary, but we have not provided a default value. In that case, nothing will be returned. And I am going to showcase all these three scenarios with the help of the given examples. Firstly, what we do is we invoke the get function on a key which is present in our dictionary my underscore d. So what do? We do my underscore d dot get and we pass the name of the key. We are passing just one argument, mind you. That means we are not giving any default value. Now if we execute this, it returns the values associated with this key name. Up to this point, no issues. Now what we are doing is we are applying the get function on my underscore d, dictionary that we have defined for this notebook. We are passing it a key, we are passing it the same key name, but along with the key we are now passing a second argument called key not found. What does this second argument signify? The second argument signifies that in case the first argument, which in this case is name, does not represent a key in the dictionary, then this particular message will be displayed. However, if the key which is specified in the first argument of the get function, and in this case it is name, if this key is found in the dictionary, then the values corresponding to this key will be displayed. We know that for my underscore d, there is a key by the name. So what do we expect to see in the output? We expect to see the same output as we saw when the default value was omitted. So let's see if we execute this now. There you have it. It's exactly the same output. Now Let's try to see what happens when we pass the first argument as a string, which is not a key. And along with that, we are offering a default value, which is key not found. That means in case the first argument does not represent a key correctly for the dictionary on which the get function is invoked, then this default value key not found will be returned. What I just said for the past 20 seconds, you could rewind it a number of times and hear it. I think it will be clear to you. In any other case, if you don't understand, you can always leave a comment in the section given below. Now, if we execute this, there is no key by the name gender. That is why the default value which was passed to the get function, key not found, is displayed. And lastly, the last scenario is if we pass a key which is not present in the dictionary, if we pass a key which is not present in the dictionary, then what happens is here we are passing an argument, in this case gender, which is not present as a key in our dictionary my underscore d, but we are not passing in default value as well. Now what happens is nothing is printed. So if we execute this, as you see, no output is given. In the previous case, what happened was same thing. Gender is not present as a key, but we were providing a default value as well. That means the default value is rightly displayed because it does not find a key by the name of gender. When it does not find a key by the given name, by the given first argument, then it will always look to display the default value. Now, in case the default value is not given, it will not give you any output. You are specifying a first argument which is not a key of the dictionary, you are not specifying a second argument, then nothing is given back as output. You do not get back any output. Alright, so that brings an end to lecture 31. Hope you found this useful. If you have any doubts, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions or any improvements that I should be making, please let me know. That will only help me to teach better, and it would be very beneficial to me if you could like this video, share it with your friends and people who would be benefiting from this. You could also subscribe. In fact, I would request you to subscribe to my channel. It always is an incentive, always an encouragement in order to record such videos. And you please share it on as many social media platforms as you possibly can. So, on that note, I'll be ending this particular lecture and I'll be seeing you with the next set of functions on dictionaries. Thank you.